Hello, good afternoon and welcome back to Rangers Radio. Motherwell 1, Rangers 1, and well, we'll wait to hear what people go to say. I've been, myself, Fox here, I've been joined on the show by my mate Fox. Didn't look at times we were going to get the equaliser, Big Itten stepped up again, got us a point, mate.
Yeah.
A lot of questions. I'm sure people have their thoughts on it. What's yours initially?
I thought we huffed and we puffed, but we couldn't blow their house down. We Cedric Itten saved us from a defeat today. Too many players off form for me. Motherwell conceded the wings days and we had plenty of the ball out there, but failed to put in enough telling crosses for me. I thought
I would agree with you. I thought Barisic and Tav got a lot of the ball and created very little, even though it was a good cross for Barisic, it made the goal. And Tav nearly got us out of jail with one. It landed at Defoe's feet at the end, but over the piece, I thought they weren't great. But I thought that Aribo, Kamara, with Hadji and Kent were very, very poor. I thought Morelos was the best of all of them. But no, he wasn't fantastic. But front players didn't shine, mate.
We didn't get enough balls to feet for the attackers, mate. Midfield, apart from Stephen Davis, who tried his usual self to try and dominate the game, I thought Glenn Kamara poor today. And Ryan Kent, for me, was very poor. Who else could you say? That's about it. That's the main culprits for me today.
I'm not blaming. It's not down to one. I didn't think Hadji had a great first half, but I thought Kent had an even poorer second half, which sometimes they up when they ran the ball out of the park twice. I can't understand when we're playing him there and he's between him and Barisic. He's no wide, he's no thing. You might as well have another striker on, you know.
I've said that to you before, Ox, this free role that he's given to Ryan Kent, where he's allowed to drift out of position. I think he goes more backwards than he does forwards and when he gave him that role. I think that the main concentration when you've got three up front is you get them into the box. And if we started off this season, Ryan Kent was getting into the box and scoring goals. But since then, I don't know, he's just...
No, it's a good game last week, mate.
On cold, aye.
Aye, a good game last week, but no, it's a good this week. Right, okay, it'll be good to get people's thoughts. What's the number, mate?
It's 0141 356 1972.
Or join us at Skype at RangersRadio.online. We're all school blue. Bring into the call, phone in, hang up, and we will phone you back. We just didn't play well, Fox. Well, look, arguably we played worse than one, but we had a lot of the ball and created very, very little, Fox. I mean, I don't know how many times we hit the first defender with crosses, etc.
Aye. I mean, it's not a disaster or a catastrophe, as the saying goes. What we didn't do is gain ground on the rest of the pack. We've kept the same gap, so it's not absolutely a big catastrophe, as I said earlier on, for us. It's another game chopped off and nobody's getting anywhere near us. So we'll just have to take it that we never played that well today. And that's the way things go in football. Definitely, out of all the away games we've had over this period, Motherwell wasn't one I expected to drop points in.
There you go. It just shows you if you're not on it and you've not got that right attitude, mate, you will come a cropper. You know, you've got to go out with the right attitude. I thought we were lazy at first. I thought the midfield was 4-4 too deep. And so the space between that and the forwards was just too much. So they get isolated. So that's where we were for me. Anyway, we've been joined by George EK. How are we doing, George?
Mediocre, happy.
Aye, we're happy that we showed the fighting spirit to come back and get the point, George, yeah?
I don't know about you yourselves, man. I thought that goal was almost identical to the one we lost at their ground. You know what I mean?
The one we lost at Ibrox?
Aye, one we lost, sorry. Aye, one we lost at Ibrox, aye. And I thought Aribo had an absolute stinker today, man. I thought he was terrible.
I don't think he did a good game.
You know what I mean?
I couldn't say that he did have a good game. I didn't think that any of the front sort of five, if you like.
I can come on, he just completely changed the game, man. You know what I mean? I just wish he'd started the game. I really do.
What I found was frustrating was he was in the centre forward role, then we got the goal, and then we hardly seen him back in that position.
Aye, I know. When the thing with Tavernier he did the ball back, man, there was nobody there.
Aye.
I mean, they should have been in the 6-yard box. Know what I mean? That would have been finished. Know what I mean? And I don't know, man. It's just why we took my foot off the gas today. I said, well, at the end of the day, man, Motherwell tried to show off to their new manager, man. Know what I mean? Keep me, I'm a good player, man. So they were going to give their all the day. So I had a feeling it was going to be a really tough game of the day, to be honest with you, know what I mean? Because you always try to show off to your manager, you're a decent player, know what I mean? You're not going out the door.
I think, but we've got to make sure that we tighten up. We're going away goals.
Silly goals, aye.
Silly goals, you know. That means that you've got to score 2 to win the game, you know. But
aye, exactly. Man.
I don't think we can criticise the team too much, George, you know.
Nah, at the end of the day, man, we've not lost a game, man, have we? You know what I mean? So it's still an unbeaten run. It was just, you know what I mean? We've just no one, man. And at the end of the day, man, some of it was quite poor, wasn't it, really? I was like to myself, man, why did even Golson took that shot? I was like, why did Golson not take more shots like that?
We didn't get enough targets.
He's on target, you know what I mean? So, man, and I was like myself with Davis a few times. Just hit the thing, man, you know what I mean? But no, there was passing back, forward, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, no, backwards mostly. But at the end of the day, man, we're still 20 points clear.
21 points clear.
21 points clear, you know what I mean?
Anyway, we've been joined by Jim for Poozy. Afternoon, Jim.
Good afternoon, Jim. That's another one chalked off, yeah.
It is.
Another one chalked off to our list.
And it wasn't a vintage performance, was it?
No, it's always going to be difficult as far as I'm concerned. Always going to be difficult. And we're not going to go through this season with having uncomfortable games. And we've left there unbeaten. And that was my most important thing for me this afternoon. Leave there.
I get it, Fox. I get it. We've got a point. We move on.
Correct. It's no, as I say, it's no a great shock to the fans, mate. We were expecting to win, but just one of the days that we just couldn't hit the right pass at the right time. And honest to God, Motherwell scored a decent goal for them. We might take it as defensive and people out of position, etc. But for them, it was a good goal. There was two of them in the 6-yard box, ready to knock the ball in. One of them did. The rest of the game, they just made compact, tried to hold on to what they had, and eventually we got the breakthrough to get the equaliser. But
yeah, Fox, the button there. You're not going to give Motherwell some credit for their defensive display today. I thought they defended absolutely soundly. And we couldn't get by.
Can't disagree, Jim. This is it. They were adventurous for the first 10 to 15 minutes in the game, got themselves in front, and that was it. They just decided to pack the defence, the whole 11 men behind the team, and left us with the ball and the wings to make chances to beat them, but we just couldn't do it, Jim.
But over here, listen, Fox, you must agree with me. We're going to have another dozen games similar to this today.
Aye, without a doubt. Teams will just pack their defence as they have done most of the season, Jim. But we've always found a way to break them down. Today it just never came up for us, and we weren't very. I don't think any creative players are on the park at all today on their game. As I said, Stephen Davis had his usual controlling game in the midfield, but the other side of both in midfield created nothing.
No.
Yeah,
I think
I
that's all
couldn't
false.
understand with Kamara. I couldn't understand why Kamara and Rebo were playing in the first half. They were that deep.
Aye. Great.
You know, particularly Rebo, he's got to be getting the ball at the edge of the box, isn't he?
He
The
did
ball was
come into
bounced
the
there,
game.
Ox. The ball was bouncing off to Aribo a lot of the time, and Ryan Kennedy. No, one of the days the ball's just bouncing off your shin. You can't get a hold of it. And that is one of the days for us. We're going to find us. Some of these, they're good football players. By the way, I would like to say something else about Big Conor Golson. I thought he was outstanding today, coming forward and stuff. He was trying his best to get us moving.
He got us in good positions. He's got to find the pass. It's hard when you look up and there's 11 men, 10 men in the goal behind you. Look, we showed a bit of patience go to the equaliser. I did think, I don't know what you think, George, when we got the equaliser, I thought we would go out and win the game, but we just continued to huffed and puffed,
That's exactly what I thought. We scored the goal. I thought we were definitely going to go on and win the game, maybe 2-1 or maybe 3-1. 2-1 would have been angry, but you know what happened? See me scored the goal, I jumped up, man. I went and done my back in, man. I'm in pure agony. Honestly, I went too far, know what I mean? I'm like, oh no, we're done, man. I've got up. But you got that stuff that burns your back on the back of the man. It's pure brutal.
I think it's a psychiatrist couch you need to lie on.
What's that?
I think it's a psychiatrist couch you need to lie on.
It's the way I jumped up. I don't know what happened, man. And I was like, what's that?
You should always warm up before the match, that right, Fox?
That's correct, mate. He's got the Ralgex on it.
That's what I've got on it, Jamie. Is that Fox?
That's Fox.
That's Fox. That's what I've got on it now. I forgot the name of it, Ralgex. I remember the last time I made a mistake with that. I put it on my hungry, but I think it was my
remember
thigh.
You brought me that watch back for Turkey. It was made by Ralgex, Foxes.
Yeah, somebody brought me a watch back there, man. It was a Turkey, man. I swear to God, I was like, we janked it and all that, man. I went like, look at the guy, went like, where'd you buy it without any horns? I went like, what? Looked up and there was no horns on the front of it. I was like, cheap shit. Honestly, I was like, it must have been the cheapest of the cheapest. What's one of it? 10 drachmas or something.
Trust you, George. Jim, I take your point. I take your attitude. But I do think that we didn't play well today. And we're two fullbacks, kind of a lot of good positions, and our crossing over the piece was poor. Aribo and Kamara, it wasn't their day. Kent and Hadji, for me, I thought Morelos was the best, and he wasn't great. But all our forward players, as you say, it was bouncing after shins, and I think what summed it up was a couple of times that Ryan Kent ran it. I think he done it 3 times in the game. Ran it out the park.
Ran the ball out.
Aye.
I know, man. It's strange, isn't it? It's real strange. You know what I mean?
It's very frustrating to watch, but it will happen in occasional games this season.
You move on, Jim. There's 14 left. That's all you have to look at, mate.
That's right.
14 games. Big game at Ibrox against Ross County. We need to go out and start back on winning ways. Get a W back next day.
Here. I gave it up.
Stephen Davis, Golson. They would have loads of touches in the ball, Fox.
Aye, Conor Golson, I agree. I think it was Jim. Was it Jim that said that he had a confident game, took control, came forward with the ball, tried to find players in positions up front, but the movement was poor, mate. I thought when I was watching it, all our players were very static, waiting in the ball instead of moving and trying to create the space for the pass to be hit. But at the end of the day, it's just one of the games that will just notch it out the way. I mean, if you thought we were bad today, Ox, I watched that Celtic game yesterday, and if you wanted to watch terrible, that was terrible. You know?
I'll take your word. I mean, but I'm only saying what I say here, saying like Roy Walker, Jim, but Tavernier got the ball in the first half, and you looked up, and Alfie had about 6 men in the box against him. We never had an Rangers player in the box.
There was other crosses come in. Remember the Heady Tav hit across there. There was nobody rushed into the box to try and get this. It was with tap-ins. People were no going to, were no accepting him to do what he does. You know, I mean, and so it was an unfortunate day for us. Listen, I don't care. We've left there unbeaten today, guys. So we're still unbeaten this season. So that's important to me. Yeah. It was important last week, but it's getting more important, if you know what I mean. That makes sense, MD.
Aye, because we're chopping off the games, mate. We're chopping off the games. Aye. You know. Aye, I get it, Jim. I get it. Well, right, Fox. If people want to join us, what's the number, mate?
0141 356 1972.
Anyway. Skype at Rangers Radio. Get yourself on mute. We'll hear from your manager, Stephen Gerrard.
I think it took us 45 minutes to come to the game. Disappointed with our showing in the first half. Had to get into them a little bit at half time, and I thought we were really good in the second half, and over the course of the 90 minutes we probably deserved to win it on chances and on our second half showing, but the reality is we can't come to a game at half time when we are where we are.
It's part of go back to what we were talking about before the game about giving Motherwell something to hang on to.
Yes, but I don't think we started the game in the right place, what we prepared for. I thought we were passive, out of possession in too many key areas of the pitch, and even when we knocked a few passes together and got into good areas, our quality wasn't there. Our front three, who we're relying on to create for us and get shots off and provide that magic, it wasn't there today in the first 45. So we got into them at half time. Had to make a substitution to send a message as well, and I thought the lads showed a lot of belief and character and played as a completely different team for the second 45. But the disappointing thing is that there was two sides of us today.
Does that maybe go back to what you said last week to me after the Aberdeen game about after 60 minutes when you got that second goal, you kind of stopped playing in a way, it was walking football? Is it a case of making sure the levels are higher?
I think there's two things as a manager you don't want your team to do. You don't want to start a game late, for sure, and you can't leave games early, especially what we're playing for. So we spoke to the players about leaving the game early last week. It could have been dangerous, but we managed to get through it. Today we haven't really been ourselves and come to the game till half time, which is on me and on us, and it's something that we look at moving forward.
Yeah, as you said, though, second half you did create a lot of chances. Is that the kind of positive, that on another day that could have been a win?
We were dominant second half, and I expected the reaction. We were much better. We managed to get some quality in from the sides. Said he's come on and scored a good goal, but we can't wait to be in that situation to get that reaction. That reaction's got to come from the beginning of the game. So that's the thing that I'm disappointed with today, is that we took so long getting going. But hopefully this will be a valuable point come the end of the season. So I'll look at the positives as well. And he was a lot, especially second half.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Cheers.
Well, thanks for that. Always honest. I think he's spot on, Fox. We didn't start well.
It makes me wonder when they say that had to give them a bit of a bollocking at half time. Why do you think the players come out with that attitude in the first half, Fox? Is it this complacency?
Apathy.
Well, that's a good one for the George.
You get caught up, you think, this is going to be, only have to turn up here. In any league, if you accept it, all leagues are, there's a muchness within reason, but in any league, if you don't turn up with the right attitude, you'll come unstuck.
Yeah, I recognised after the first 10 minutes, and I'm not a manager, that Motherwell had decided to play the ball out for the back. We should have shoved up and pressed them right for the start of the game. That would have got us into the habit of movement. For me, we allowed them to pass the ball out for the back and no forcing them into long balls where Connor Goldson and Balogun would have picked up the ball and restarted attacks for us. And then, of course, they broke away and scored that goal. And after that, we just never pressed them again after that. You know, earlier in the season, we were all about teams. We didn't give them time to settle on the ball. We didn't give them any time at all. No space, no time. Pressurised them, took the ball off them, and then started our own attacks. That seems to be missing at the moment, especially today.
I'd like to agree with everything folks have said there. Absolutely. Folks, you've got that bang on, man. We sat back, we think, we've turned up to you to win the day. Now, we need to stop this, but I've got a funny feeling, see the last third of this season, we're going to have to Auckland Howie and train against 10-men defences, because people don't want to get beat against us, obviously, right? So, and they might stop the league. You know, so we've got to get well in front now to make sure if they stop the league, we've won this league 55. That's all I've got to say about it.
Yeah. But you need to go with the right attitude, George.
Aye, 100%. No, I mean, as Fox said, he said it brilliantly, by man. We were absolutely dominating teams from the kick-off, you know what I mean? We weren't giving them any time in the ball. We were all over them, by the way, you know what I mean? We were scoring goals for fun. And for some reason, man, it seems to kind of slowed up, you know what I mean? We turned up today, and I feel as if it was just, we looked apathetic, you know what I mean? And we kind of played apathetic in the first half. You know what I mean? And the second half we picked up, man. But at that point we're a goal down, you know what I mean? We're playing catch up, you know what I mean? We need to get back to the way we were playing before, as I agree with Fox, 100%. We need to get back in amongst them, you know what I mean? And see that bit of knob, we need the ball. Kelly did not keep the keeper, Kelly the ball, and he was passing the player. But Ellison actually been running in there, man. He makes you can always get one of making a mistake, you know what I mean? And passing the ball to one of us, not about it. So we should have been battering about them by him, man, so they couldn't do that, you know what I mean?
You've got to do that as a unit, but
their time wasting, man. Oh, it was disgraceful, wasn't
it? Well, it started, I think, for the first throw in the start of the match. It took forever to take it, you know.
Kicking every ball, throw.
Slow the game down and may take us out to the rhythm. Anyway, come and join us, give us your thoughts, 0141 356 1972, or join us at Skype at RangersRadio.online. We've brought into the call with Old School Blue. Phone up, hang up, we will phone you back. Well, we move on. We dust ourselves down. We'll take it on the chin. Some of the players will need to accept it. They didn't get past marks today. And then you move on to Saturday. Jim.
Oaks, we're still not. Oaks, I'm doing it, but we're still unbeaten, Oaks. That's most.
Yeah. But we couldn't come on here. We couldn't come on here, Jim, and say that was a vintage performance.
No, absolutely not. And we're going to have this all. Well, we're going to have a lot of these games. I keep saying that we're going to have difficult games for the 12 games, or I can't remember how many games we go to play. 14 games, but we're going to find this whole season from now on, and we'll continue being, as I said earlier on, the unbeaten record didn't bother me at the time, but it's important to me now. So let's go for the unbeaten record for it. Let's go for the unbeaten
record. I think it's important to go back to getting W's next to one.
Aye, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You're right. Yeah.
You know. It's difficult to be critical of this group of players, Fox, you know, this season. But in that performance, you've got to be honest that there was too many of them never get past marks.
We're not being critical, we're just disappointed. We're disappointed in the performance of the team, the high standards that they've shown all season. And normally when it's a sticky game like that, they always find a way to win. Unfortunately today, the ball never broke at the right time for us. As you rightfully say, Jermaine Defoe could have sealed it in the last 30 seconds of the game. You'd say William Kelly, but just one of the days. And as you say, let's It's not anything to get despondent about. It's just a bad day at the office, and we'll move on. It's another game out the way, and the more games we get out the way and don't lose any ground, we'll soon be champions, and 55 league titles will be in the bag.
Absolutely false, man. Absolutely. Fantastic. We Sunday matinee session. We'll still start our league. We've not lost any points. I mean, we've not lost any ground. We're still going there. We're going for a big time. That's my...
That's it, Jim. We're just a wee bit disappointed in the 90 minutes, but overall we're all sound as a bell, aren't we? We're all
absolutely.
happy.
Yeah. By the way, see you go to the 60th minute, I draw would have done me a day, folks. You know? Because we weren't playing that well. We weren't playing that well. Some players we couldn't put we couldn't cross a ball to the right in the right places where it should have been. And but anyway, we're going to find these games, folks. You're better than most.
You always get games like this throughout a season, even when we had far superior teams for me in the past. I think people's memories get a wee bit cloudy. There was plenty of times in Advocates' times and Walter's times we went to grounds like this and struggled. So it's nothing new. It happens during the season, and it's nothing to worry about. And as we say, we just march on.
Absolutely.
Well, George or Jim, Money's have got the Beach Grove Gardeners, Jim and George. The Money's have got the show in the background. Could you just turn it off? We're hearing it.
Not guilty, Your Honour.
All right, okay. When Fox is speaking,
that's my battle, Gary.
That's it. We've been joined by Denver Bear. Well, good morning, Denver. Afternoon for here. Denver.
Hi, good morning.
How we doing, Denver? All right, mate?
Doing all right, guys. Aye. If you only hit the Rangers over, it'd be better.
What time did you get up this morning at?
4:30. 4:30. It's 7:30 in the morning right now. So couldn't sleep last night. So just got up at 4:30. Game kicked off at 5. Anyway, I'm not unhappy with the performance. I just feel that we're missing an experienced midfielder to go with Stevie Davis there. Young Hadji, Kamara and Aribo are all pretty much a muchness. You know, they're all great players, but they just need another wee bit of an old heel like Scotty Arfield or Ryan Jack. Or Ryan Jack guy. I'm happy. There was only one team playing football there, Ox, you know.
I accept that, mate, but well, I'm not going to be too critical. I can only talk about that game. I think there was parts in it where we moved it side to side okay, but then when we got the delivery for both wings, we were two wide men, who was Tav and Borner, weren't they great? Kent had a nightmare in my opinion, particularly the second half. And then Aribo, Hadji and Kamara jointly didn't have great games. You know?
That's exactly what I mean, Ox. You know, just that they're if you get one of them off the boil, they don't seem to all click in, you know. But you know, overall, I'm happy. We're unbeaten. We're still unbeaten. At our point, we're 21 points ahead of the Terriers. It's good enough for me, you know.
Well, we'd have took that at the start of the season, eh?
Oh man, aye, no doubt about it, Ox. You know, but you know, ultimately, you're going to get games like this. We've all followed the Rangers long enough, and we've seen them, and we've seen games like this through our life following the Rangers, you know. And it's going to be, as one of your callers said, it's going to be like this for the rest of the season, you know.
Anyway, we've also been joined by Lawbear. Afternoon, Lawbear.
Afternoon, gents. How you doing?
All right, mate. All right. Yourself?
Aye. Not too downhearted. Frustrated, of course. I think every Rangers fan would be. Aye, but I think we need to take a step back and look at it in isolation. Wasn't a great game. I think too many big players were off it for me. The wide areas, we were really, really poor, apart from one cross with Barisic. I thought Tavernier had a poor game. Barisic was tentative. Kent, for me, was probably his poorest game this season. But, when we look at the statistics of that game, and I know statistics mean nothing if you don't turn it into goals, but I believe touches in the opposition box were 58 and passes in the opposition box were 75, which is the most of any game in the Scottish Premiership this season. So that shows how much we pushed in the second half. First half wasn't good enough for us. We let Motherwell control the game. But, we're in no divine right to win every single game this season. We've had a fantastic run. And we just need to dust ourselves off, draw a line under this. We've not lost any ground in any way or given any advantage to the other side. And we move on to next week.
Well said, Lobel.
It's hard to argue with that, Denver, but I get that and I accept everything Lobel's saying. But as a critique of that game standalone, it wasn't great, was it?
No, it wasn't great, Ox, but, as I said, there's only one team playing football.
That
big O'Donnell, I said to my boy, how that guy makes money playing football, I can't believe it. That's the sum and substance of how bad Scottish football is. When that guy O'Donnell, the amount of time he wastes taking throw-ins and all that, and all he does is kick the ball the way he's facing. Just a donkey, man. Unbelievable. But so there's only one team playing football as far as I'm concerned, Docs. I'm no down at all with this result at all today. You're going to get games like this all the time.
I don't pick up a lot of negativity, and everybody's sort of saying that similar players didn't have good games, which is pretty universal, folks. We know our front players didn't play well.
After watching the game live, mate, I'll sit and watch it again, maybe later on tonight. Whether the midfield was made to look bad because there was no movement up front, and we might be blaming them for failing to provide creativity when there's nothing to hit. Our front two players, because Kent was everywhere but up front, they had about 45 defenders around them, so I'll maybe have a wee rethink when we come back on tomorrow.
Hello?
Mm-hmm. Hello, Tommy. How we doing, mate?
Not bad, Ox. Not bad.
Give us your thoughts, mate.
Well, I didn't think it was a bit as bad a performance as some people are saying, Ox. They've had one attempted goal. Yes, they've taken it. But for the chance, Alfie's chance is one of them that goes past. I thought they totally dominated the game, Rangers, but they just couldn't finish it.
We did. We just lacked that bit of quality because we're wide.
Well, Jermaine Defoe's unlucky at the end there, Ox. But you're not going to. My main thing is we didn't drop. We didn't lose the game, Ox.
Aye, well said, Tommy. I don't disagree, mate. I'm just looking for.
But I just thought. You're not going to get finishes. Like some of the people are saying. I think the Rebo was off form. Kent was poor. Hadji, I'm glad he took him off. The list is Balogun and Golston didn't look great at the back, Ox, for the goal. I thought their goal looked offside, Ox, but there you go.
So could ours have been, mate.
Not the boy who's not.
So could ours have been with if you look at it, it's just that he's fit in front of him, but we'll move on. We'll say the two of them are onside, both goals.
Okay. But I like you said, we're not going to win every single game, Ox. You're going to get performances like that. They huffed, they puffed. It's just one of them things.
73% possession. Yeah, 73%.
So there you go. And their goalkeepers had one of them sort of games, Ox, where he's caught everything, he saved everything, even Bozit come through the thingy, he saved it. It's just I just think it's one of them games, Ox. But it's like I'm just, as I said, we never lost the game, that's the main thing.
Where are you, Tommy? Where are you phoning in for, Tommy?
Bognor Regis, Ox.
Oh, right, okay. I knew it was down the south coast. I just couldn't remember whereabouts. I think he's nailed it again. I'm not disagreeing with everybody. I think we set high standards. Gerrard set high standards, and we never met them today. Should we win the game? Aye, we should have done.
Yeah, he has. And, you see in the first half when some of the passes went astray and some of the whatever, you could see in his face he's thinking, yeah, here we go, this could be one of them games. But I mean, if we can't take nothing away from Motherwell, Oaks, that was the bottom of the league. That was a good battling performance from them.
Aye, Denver, they got the goal and they sat back in. They go to half time quite comfortably, and then the second half it was the Alamo, wasn't it?
Oh, aye.
Yep, and then the boy who headers the ball off the line, that was a good header. A cracking header by Goldson, by the way, and that's gone in. A good header off the line, and that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have a man on the back post, and that's where they had somebody.
Aye, quite right. Aye, Denver, in you come, mate.
Aye, I agree with Fox. Once you see that game again, once you get rid of the tension, it's going to be a different game. You'll see, I think, Ox, just too many boys off the boil. Young Hadji, you could tell right away, right for the first couple of minutes, he wasn't on it. He wasn't making space for himself. Normally makes an order. Aribo up to the last 20 minutes wasn't in the game. So, and Kamara, I didn't think he had a great game either. Harry Kane just scored a great goal there, if that's any good to you.
Don't you ruin Fox's night? He likes to feed him on that.
I come in there,
The JFK does that way.
On you go, Lobby. On you come.
I think that the biggest thing from this game was we just need to be shooting from outside the box. There's so many opportunities where we're with lots of space just outside just outside the box. Have a crack, because we've seen numerous times this season that our players follow up, and if we're not scoring, there's going to be chances from goalkeepers making saves. I mean, so much. I said the stats before. The stats before proves we're trying tippy-tappy and we're trying to walk the ball into the net, and it works a lot of the time. But we've seen so many times that having a shot from outside the box can create so much, either from a deflection, a great goal, a follow-up. And for me, Gerrard this week needs to be emphasising have a goal.
Funny,
that's what I was going to say to you there, Oxford. That's what I was going to say to you, Ox. Try to score the perfect goal. And how many times were they actually on the edge of the D of the box, and they could have had a pop? They could have had a pop at goal. They've got the boys who can shoot. They've got the Goldson can shoot. Tavernier can shoot. Hadji can shoot. Davis can shoot. But none of them would have a dig at the goal, folks. It's like the other caller says there, Ox. It's all about, and then if you follow up, you get a chance.
If you don't shoot, on you go, George. If you don't shoot, you never score.
Did you see the chance Hadji had? He'd more time than he thought he had. And if he took his time, I think he'd have buried that. The one he put by the post.
Right at the start of the second half,
he just snatched it. When he should have hit it with his right foot. Yeah, he hit it with his left foot instead of his right foot. Aye, you're right, mate. Bang on.
I'm personally, and I don't want to say that Hadji performance. I've still not seen it, mate. The jury's still out, but I don't want to criticise the boy too much because he wasn't alone the day. Lobby.
Yeah, I agree. It is. You can see he's trying. Hadji, for me, he's got that touch. He's got that flick. He's got that ability to play a pass similar to, not quite to the same level as Steve Davis, but he's got the creativity there. He'll bring fouls on. For me, though, there just needs to be a bit more end product and a bit more creativity from him if he's going to keep his place in the team when the likes of Jack and Arfield come back into the team. In January we're talking about the potential of signing Scott Wright. For me, he takes Hadji's position if he plays to the form that he's been playing for Aberdeen if we sign him. So Hadji needs to do a little bit more, similar to kind of what we expect from Kent, from a creativity point of view, if we really want to kind of kill these teams off.
Well, I thought Kent had a good game last week, but I thought he was poor today. Simple as that. Denver Bear.
I don't think James.
On you go, Denver.
I tend to agree with you. He never hides the boy right enough. I mean, he always gives you 100%. But it just wasn't working for him, And, other players weren't making space for him either. And it's hard to make space when you've got all the guys behind the ball, So, just, I'm delighted, man. We're another 21 points, man. It's just, you could never have wrote that script if you wanted it in your life, Ox,
Mm-hmm. No, you're right, mate. Another game chopped off. 14 to go, mate. 14 to go.
14 is it, Ox? 14. All right.
14 games, fantastic. Here, Ox, yeah. Ox,
yes,
yeah.
Mate.
I know we're in front of the guys, right? I think we have to win another 7 games to win the league. I think, I'm not sure. I'm not convinced. But,
if they'd have won the day, mate, it was 7 games to win the league.
Aye, I thought it was something like that. We're home free. We're home free, man. Let's go with us. We're going to first part of the, and they defended like, I was going to say a bad word there, but they defended. But by the way, I'm going to give them their due. The Motherwell defended like nothing else, right? So anyway, so cool. That's what we're going to get this. I keep reiterating this, right? But we're going to have this the rest of the season. For the guys that's listening, we're going to have this forever to now, unless somebody cancels the league. But we make sure we've got plenty of points in front. Yeah, cool. That's what I'm saying. So, and we've got some players no kicking in away grounds. We realise this. But some players don't like playing away from home and playing on artificial pitches and all that. So we're getting over it. We're still doing it.
Well, that's him. It doesn't look as if we'll play Motherwell again this season, a lot better. So we move on. And we take the positive.
We're not going to play them again at Ibrox yet, Mo. Oh, no, we haven't. No, sorry. Oh. I was going to say we don't play them again, Ox, because they're in the bottom 6, aren't they?
Well, unless they come with a run and get ourselves into the top 6, but Bear, the big positive is 21 points.
What did you make it?
Tommy.
What did you make?
Other people. Tommy, Robert.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
That's all right.
I said before the Old Firm game, I said January was the month, right? I said a couple of mates, if we got out the month of January dropping only 2 points throughout the whole month, the league was ours. And that was before the other side of the city not even winning a game yet this year. So the biggest game for me now is the next one. Going to Ross County at Ibrox, we win that, then it's Hibs. I think if we get 6 points out of those 2 games, to me, then it's a formality.
I hope you're right. And you come, Tommy?
I was just going to say, York, what did you make of Savonier's performance today? I mean, I thought his crossing was in the first half was absolutely woeful.
I think Tav started poorly and didn't get any better, mate. His first touch of the game was poor, and he didn't get any better because his crossing was as poor as it's been. But he kept going and made a great chance for us when he got that header at the back post. So that's a positive for Tav. Anyway, we've been joined by Albert. Afternoon, Albert.
Afternoon, all. Afternoon, chaps. How are you all doing? I'm good, mate. I'm good. First half of the day, absolute mince. There's no other way of explaining it. It's just mince. That's not acceptable. That's a team playing as if they're listening to their own hype, so they need to get that out of their heads right away. Second half, a lot better in the second half. We started coming into our game. Park wasn't conducive for a good passing game, but we need to start rutting one of the parks out at Murray, out at Auchenhowie, to show you boys that these parks is what you're going to get to play in. So your passing game will need to go up a level. Few players didn't play well today. Really didn't play well. The crossing was abysmal, apart from one cross by Barisic. But there's 3 players we need back. 2 of the 3 will do, but we need preferably get the 3. You need Arfield, Jack, and Ruth back. Preferably Ruth and one of the others. Ruth's the difference, by the way. That's why we're sitting all these points ahead. That's why we're going to win the league. It's because of Ruth. He's the class we brought to the club over the summer. He is truly the class, and we need him. He'd have scored today. We'd have won that today if he was playing. So we need him back. Toot sweet. We need him back. But we need one of the midfielders, if not the two of them back as well. Because Aribo is not a midfielder. I'm sorry. I like the guy. I love Aribo. I think he's a fantastic player. But I'm with you, Ox. He's not good in the midfield. You've got to get him up to the 18-yard box. You've got to get him up round about there. That's when he does all his best work. And he can create space for others. And actually, he can take a goal, the boy. He can take a goal, but you're not going to get it. He's never going to run for the midfield and crash it into the net. That's just no his style. So get the nonsense out of their head. Get focused for the next one. That needs to be analysed thoroughly, and the nonsense needs to be knocked out of their head, because that first half, that was people listening to their own hype. That's what that was. That's hype surrounding the team, and they're all starting to listen to it. Well, no, that's not going to happen anymore. We need to go on with it. Second half, as I say, played brilliant. No brilliant, but a lot better.
But listen, it was Baxter. It was. In you go, Robert. In you go with
that midfield three, right? Davis, Kamara, and Aribo. They've played a lot of football now. The injuries to Arfield and Jackie put a lot of pressure on those three. And Zungu obviously is not at a level that Gerrard feels he can trust him to start a game or even come on in a game. I think it really is really a big boost to us that Jack is now training again, because that there's been a lot put on Davis at his age, Kamara and Aribo, as I agree with, albeit he's not a central midfielder. And I think with Jack, will be back in the team next game, and I think getting him back will just freshen up that midfield and we'll push on.
All right, we've been joined by Magpie. Afternoon, Magpie.
Sorry, lad, I'm just not that long in for work, so I've never seen the game, but fortunately for me, mate, I've got good Rangers supporters either side of me who follow me in. I kind of thought, this was coming, you know what I mean? We've not really been playing well, you think about it, for weeks. We still will win the league. You look at their record, it's horrendous how many wins they've got. I've no doubt about it, but the thing is, maybe the boy, right, we were talking about it the other day, maybe it's what we need, because I do think there's no directness. We need genuine pace. We need somebody to take people on, because when our two wing backs are sort of isolated, or when they're not attacking, basically we're kind of struggling to break teams down, and you're always going to get results like this. We've got a Hibs game coming up with Clancy as a referee, so that's going to be a challenge in itself. Morelos is in and out, and Roofs, as we were talking about, the forwards haven't really performed that brilliantly this season for all the good football we've played. But it will come. It's just a case, mate. It's just maybe I'd like to see Rangers knowing that they're near that finishing line to go out for the first whistle. I think it was Fox that said it earlier on. Doesn't understand why they don't go out there and just take the game with a scruff of the neck for the start. I know there's two teams to make a game, but they did that against us, and they still lost. But we're more capable of winning these games. But you just got to keep the faith, lads. I still think we'll do it. It's just that the midfield, it's sort of just, it's not functioning brilliantly at this moment in time. And I said that Tavernier and Barisic haven't been the way they played at the start of the season. So it's just a case of, this may be our bad spell, mate, but we're winning. And we're picking up points in a bad spell. So you've just got to be positive, keep the faith. That's what I was saying.
21 points. Magpie,
you can't grumble with that, Ox, you know what I mean?
No. I can. I'm greedy. Denver 23 would have rather had after the day, but you can't turn back time. Oh, Denver. Oh, Albert.
Yeah, Oaks.
Yes.
Denver's got. I don't know what happened to Denver there. I like to hear him speaking. I like the way he's going to say it. But we're going to go back to the same situation next year. We don't have to lose too many games, and we've got 55 coming up, and it's going to be coming up. I would say end of February.
I think that's a bit short, but we'll get 4 games, then we'll get European ties. The Scottish Cup kicks in. We don't know what's going to happen with that, but
of course,
listen, we get the next 2 games out of the way, Albert. Looking forward, we get the next 2 out of the way, and we're starting to really chop the games off, you know.
That's it, mate, but it's the next game first, you know what I mean? Just take one at a time. Let's just do one at a time, because I'm telling you right now, is if you're looking too far ahead, you get yourself into a muddle. You just get yourself into a muddle. I know a lot of boys are celebrating now that the league's won. It's no one yet. It's going to be one. And as long as you keep the team focused on that, we all can get carried away, but they can't. So they need to keep focused. We all need to keep focused on next game, win the next game. Now listen, goals win games. We need goals in the team, right? And that's why we're sitting these points ahead. Goals, guys. Morelos hasn't been scoring, but Ruth has been scoring. Kent has threw in a couple. Big Golson's scored a few. Tav scored 17. It's goals, guys. We need goals. We're not getting goals. So all this, we're not playing well and all this pretty fit. It's mince. It's not just mince. We need to score goals. So Kent, Hadji, Itten, Defoe, Morelos, Ruth, Rebo, Kamara, Davis, all need to score goals. Arfield. They all need to score goals, mate. That's what we're going to require. So they all need to start getting the shooting boots on and get and hitting that net, because at the moment we're back to the line in Alfie, and that's not going to win your league. I'm telling you now, that's not win your leagues. It needs more players. It needs more players to score goals. So Big Hitton come on the day and bangs, man, and well done, big man. We Defoe nearly scored, but he didn't score, but he nearly scored. For Alfie, nothing to do. Absolutely nothing to do. He had one heady. He probably should have done better with it. But anyway, he never scored. That's the bottom line. Kent didn't even look like scoring. Aribo never looked like scoring. Kamara never looked like scoring. So Hadji never looked like scoring. Hadji did. For the first 10, 15 minutes of the game, I didn't even know he was playing. And I was saying, where is he? What's happened to him? All of a sudden, he pops up and you're getting, what happened to you, son? You can't go 15 minutes in the game.
He never touched the ball in the first 15 minutes, mate. I don't reckon he did, mate. That's shocking. That's ridiculous. I mean, he should be slaughtered. Seeing he's in it back out in the Econhowie and Monday, whatever they get back in, he should be absolutely slaughtered for that. Where were you? Why are you posted missing? You should be making yourself available. So that's not allowed, guys. It's just not allowed.
I think it's important to, in the context of the game, you as you're saying there, get our shooting boots on. Like we had all the play to score goals today. Look at the stats. I said it earlier, for those that might not have been on the call here. 58 touches in opposition box, 75 passes in the opposition box. That's unprecedented levels of activity in an opposition box, but we didn't shoot. We just need to be brave. We need to be shooting. Our play is getting us in the areas, but we're not shooting. We're trying to create that perfect goal or walk the ball in the net. We just need to be brave and have goals.
Aye, if you don't shoot, you'll never score. Magpie.
Well, that's where the McCoy's type came into play for Rangers. There's many games probably like that the Rangers have played in the past, but he's never afraid to shoot, never afraid to miss. Do you know what I mean? And that's the problem. It's kind of similar to last year, Ox. We had all the possession and all the play, but end up drawing silly games and that. And you don't want to go down that road. There will be an nervousness about the guys because none of them have really won anything apart from Davies and McGregor. And so, this is a first for them. And, and I think a lot of people forget that. Hadji, they're very, very young, very inexperienced as well. But it's getting near that winning line, and this will be the true test now. I think we all agree with that. And I can't remember who was it said that. They're quite right. We are maybe jumping too far ahead. There are people I know that are celebrating just now. I still think we'll win the league. I do. I'm pretty confident because I think they've imploded. But it's not going to be as easy as we think. We're going to have to work our arses off. Sorry for swearing. And we're going to have to put a 90-minute performance in every single game to take like a cup final, mate.
On the Sabbath as well, Magpie. On the Sabbath.
Oh, I know, it's terrible, mate.
George VK, it's all about, for me, it's not about, I think we lacked, and I think the manager said that in his interview, we didn't get with the right attitude for the off.
I totally agree with that. I can't disagree with that. And I'll tell you something, I think it's glaringly obvious that we're totally missing Scott Arfield because he offers us so much more, and he also gives us goals as well. I mean, and as you say, man, we never even looked like the first half, man. We looked so disjointed, it was unbelievable, you know what I mean? Tavernier's crossing was shocking, by the way. Barish's, I think, apart from the goal, every one of Barish's crosses, man, was basically right there, keeper Kelly, or our keeper.
I think George's absolutely right. We missed that runner into the box. You know the one runner we get for just run into the box. We've missed Scotty.
I think we missed that, but I do accept George's point, and I've got you all bear that the fullbacks had. There was in the first half, it was like a training session the way the ball was coming out to Barisic, and it's as poor as I've seen him cross the ball. Huh?
How many corners did we get? We got a right few, didn't we?
10, I think. 10. I'll just check, George, but I think it was 10. All bear. The crossing was as poor as it's been.
Oh, I mean, I've not seen the two. I've seen the one of them maybe having a bad game, but never seen the two of them having bad games like that. No, I mean, for crossing, by the way, I'm only putting it down to I'm not seeing the stinking games all in. They just the crossing. They were pretty poor in the crossing, and they tried, and I'll give them 10 out of 10 for that. They really did try. They weren't like, oh, I'm getting up with this. I just passed this, and I'm tried. The movement in the area. Now you see what's happening with it. You can see what's happening with any decent forward, centre forward, or anybody with any brains, the Querals, people like that, we Roof like that. They see what's happening and they start thinking, right, I'm going to get. They're going to cross. I'm getting in front of these defenders because it's always hitting the defender. No, you get Morelos and Hadji and Arriba, standing behind defenders. You're going, you need to get in front of them, guys. He's not hitting the back post or he's not hitting players in it. Get in front of the defenders, a flick on, maybe even a heated own goal. But we stood like statues again. Morelos' movement in the box is dreadful, mate. Absolutely dreadful. And you're sitting saying, you've not learned nothing for the Defoe or Roof about movement inside the 18-yard box. He needs to learn better than that. That's just stunning. Like that's expecting the ball to come by all the defenders and go straight to you. I mean, come on. Who do you think he's playing with? Maradona and Messi and all that? Come on, get a grip. You need to give them a horn. You need to move.
Brilliant. Well, gents, we've reached that time of the afternoon. Thanks to who joined us. Thanks to Tommy who joined us. Thanks to Paul Bear. Thanks to George. Thanks to Jim. Thanks to Magpie. Always a pleasure, Magpie. Of course, Lawbear. And one of the stars of Rangers Radio all the way from Denver. Always great to hear from Denver Bear. Thanks to Fox for joining us on the panel. And of course, Old School Blue for doing the technicals. Without him and Fox, there's no show. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. Where we'll be joined by the one and only Southside. Take it away, Old School Blue.
Come on.
Have you seen the Glasgow Rangers? Have you seen the boys in blue? Admired by all who know them. If you saw them, so would you. By all, they are good sportsmen. Fair play, they top the pole. There's a roar that beats Old Hampden when they score a winning goal. From the slopes of dear old Ibrox, thousands gather for their play. They're glorious and victorious when the Rangers win the day. They have played way in Monaco, they have played in USA, but the greatest game in history is the game on New Year's Day. For it's the home of famous heroes, and their praises have been sung. They waddle Tory Gillick, Alan Morton and George Young. Oh, when all my life has ended, and when death has made its mark, may they scatter all my ashes on the slopes of Ibrox Park. songs I'll be singing, up in heaven in the glen. I'll be happy and contented when the boys have won again. On my harp I will be playing in the sky way up above. I'll be singing, follow, follow, to the Rangers that I love.